Good evening and welcome back to my channel. So this is the first installment of my next creative build. At least I'm going to try and do something a little bit different. Okay, a lot bit different. I've done, previously I did the Caprica Toron Viper concept scratch built, and I'll put a link to it down below, which was fun. It was kind of interesting to get a sort of scratch build or kit bash, something that had a look to it. And this image has been floating around the internet, and you can see it's like just a Photoshop of a A-10 Xwing. And it's one of those things that's just been sitting there and floating around in my brain as, it'd be kind of fun to give it a try. There's all kinds of aerodynamic falsities to this thing that just don't work. But it looks different, it looks entertaining, and I am curious as to whether I could make the overall concept work as a model. So we're going to give it a shot, and that's what this series is all about. What I'm going to do is I actually have a couple of 48 scale A10s, and I'm going to do a bunch of kit bashing of that and a couple of 32nd scale prop planes to get some larger pieces. And I would like the scale to be on par with the 32nd scale Viper and Concept Viper and the Hola Fighter and all that. So that's what this project's going to be. So I'm just getting started, right? And the first bits, I really don't need to bring all that down, but obviously the big identifying pieces are going to be the wings. If we look at this piece right here is where the wheels go down, and what I will end up doing is I will have the front nose gear for the A-10 as normal, offset from the Gatling gun, and have the other rear wheels come out from the main fuselage where the wings join. Okay, so essentially these things don't need to be there, so we cut them away and trim them off using a razor saw. So I've put that much together. This stuff will get cleaned up. I have to clean that up, but that gives me my the lower X of the wing, and then you'll need to get the other set of wings to do those. Now the problem with this is using the Revell model kit. Right? So this is the Revell A-10 148 scale. And the only real challenge with this one, I don't have the other ones in like within reach, but the way this is done, the flaps are open and the air brakes are open. So there is no way to model them closed. You have to manually go in and fix that. Or you have to manually go in and would have to scratch build closed brakes. And so that's what I'm going to end up having to do, because I will probably have this thing done wheels down and landed, because that's how I'd like to display it. But I'm also not going to display it with those open. So that's more modeling that will need to be done. Obviously, I'll clean this stuff up, clean this up, and then this will be filing, sanding, and all that, which means more adding rivets. Now, here's something that's interesting: is these panel lines are raised on the fuselage of this. All of the panel lines are raised panel lines, so that's going to be a little bit challenging, but it is what it is. I may end up having to scribe, but we'll see how that all goes. I think this is a fairly old kit, but anyway. So that's what we have for the wing. Now, the fuselage is going to be a little bit different. So the fuselage, I'm taking the front of the A-10, but the cockpit's going to be covered over. This is just going to be solid for the fuselage. We'll still have the main gun and all of that cleaned up, as well as the landing gear here, so that it can set landed. I'm taking this, which is a Russian, I think, World War I fighter, and it'll set approximately there, and that will park the cockpit back to about here. So, and then actually what I may end up doing is probably sliding this forward about to there, right about there. So the main cockpit's sitting right here, right? So we have this, and then you can see the cockpit would be here. And you have your wings will end up being approximately there. So if I do this way, so our Xwing will stick out of it, will be at about there. And I'll have to build this back piece back probably another inch. So this is going to get cut off pretty much right here once I've got the cockpit installed. So I'll hold this together. So this will get cut off here, and then have the main fuselage part brought back with where the wings will then set in right about there. You know, on an Xwing, you know, and again, you know, we'll use the same engines for that the A-10 used, because they're sort of obvious, and it makes the A-10 look. So this one here has, if I drop this where I was talking about, the main fuselage will be smooth down here. We'll have a step out here. We'll have a little bit of step out here. This will get smoothed down, and then about here it's going to square off and come back to, you know, where the wings will match up. So there will be a lot of custom build there. Then all the panel scribing and all that. So now this one has a very small area of recessed rivets and panel lines, but that's all going to get covered up with putty by the time I get done with the thing. Anyway, so that's roughly what I'm looking to do. Now this is just playing around. So this is you know, Kit Bash 101. Kind of look and see what you have, and all of this. So all of this is coming out of my stash. So it's, you know, I've had the A-10 sitting around, and I'm not a big 1/48 scale builder. I prefer aircraft at 1/32, and I'd been messing around and thinking, yeah, I can get the A-10, I can do the A-10 at 1/48, blah blah blah, and I never have. And the kit itself is bleh. So yeah, I figured, why not? Let's just see if I can do something fun. Now, something I'll point out for those who are familiar with the A-10 or with this particular model is these parts are soft. I mean, the detail on this is really, really soft. Just putting the gear together. It's all right. It's got some nice stuff, but the curves are soft. The joins are meh. Yeah, you can see here the joins are eh. You've got to do a lot of work to it to clean it up and make it look nice. You can, you know, all through here. Sorry, I was looking down here at the thing, not at the camera, but I know I'll be able to go back and clean it up and make it nice for, well, make it appropriate for what I'm after, so that'll work. But that's where I am right now, and that's where I'm going to go with this particular build. So if you want to go ahead and get a Chuckler 3, feel free to hang out and watch the next video as it comes. But this is going to be me just sort of being a little bit creative and seeing what I can find, seeing what I can make happen. So with that said, I hope you enjoy this little journey that this one's going to take, and we'll see where we end up. In the meantime, talk to you later, and happy modeling. Till next time.